Joining us now, Kenia Mills from WIBW and the Manhattan Bureau, a multimedia journalist. And Kenia, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, super to have you here. Now, you came out of school not too long ago, but have a lot of great experience in this already. What kind of social media pressures and social media responsibilities do you have as a multimedia journalist?
Okay, so whenever we go out and shoot stories, we have to come back and write an article, edit the video, send that all up. But then you also have to let people know what's going on, you know. So if you're at the scene of a story, you have to make sure you're taking a picture and just kind of tweeting real fast about it. If you're at a meeting and maybe there are specific points that you think are important, you need to be shooting those out on Twitter as well. And then later on, when you can kind of compose yourself, then you'll set something up on Facebook and let people know. Lately, what I've been doing that I realized are really popular are people like seeing video clips on Facebook. So if I go to a memorial service, let's say, I'll record it and then I'll edit something for Facebook alone and post it on there. And, you know, I'm seeing upwards of thousands of shares. You know, people are interested in that kind of thing, especially anything on Fort Riley for some reason. In terms of Twitter and Facebook, what they want to see is you showing your personality. So you're no longer just informing people, you're also showing them things about your personality, things that maybe make you happy or make you sad, or, you know, things about your family or your marriage, whatever. But the point is they want to make you personable. So.
Is it mostly just Twitter and Facebook? I know we've got Instagram, we've got Snapchat is kind of becoming a thing. Facebook Live actually has really become a big news organization tool. Is it mostly those two platforms? And as you work that workflow, how much does that disrupt your storytelling? And how do you storytell in those different realms?
So for us, it's Twitter and Facebook, and we're supposed to do two posts on each every single day. That's the minimum. And I've noticed that a lot of people, we struggle with that. It's not easy because you're not always thinking that way when you're out shooting something. You're so busy trying to get it for TV that sometimes you kind of neglect what you need to be putting on your phone. But so it's Facebook and Twitter. You're supposed to be doing live, and if you do live, it has to be a minimum of 5 minutes. They want you to be out there for a while because they feel that engages more viewers. And then in terms of Snapchat and Instagram, I don't use those personally. I'm sure there's some reporters that do that are more social media savvy. I know I got pushed into this. So definitely not I didn't want to have to be so transparent to the world, but they require it now because people really do engage. So,
what kind of benefits do you see from social media and using it as a news gathering tool?
I think benefits, I can't even tell you. This actually happened in school. I was still at K-State, and there's an organization here called the Save Farm. And so they're trying to take transitioning soldiers and turn them into farmers, give them a vocation, give them a purpose. So I decided to do the story at K-State, and it wasn't a very well done story. The video was awful. I had some shots in there I can't even tell you. But the point is, I posted that one story on YouTube just because I have a channel, and I decided, hey, let me just throw my work up there regardless. And it got picked up by the Rural News Network. And then next thing I know, the founder of this organization had emails from all across the country of people who wanted to donate, help him, wanted to provide for this organization. That was just on YouTube. And that was a forgotten video, I thought. You know what I mean? I had no idea that it was going to get picked up by anybody. I had a grass shot in there that was awful. You know, blown out video. I hate it to this day, but it got picked up and the content was so good, it didn't matter. So I think my encouragement is that things just get picked up everywhere when you put them on social media. You don't know who's watching.
There's no real formula for a viral video. And that's the one thing that folks have tried to make that a formula. You never know what is just going to pop. And so as a news person, as you're making your social news strategy, you have to kind of be able to do that. For social media, does your station or news organization give you any training, or is this something they kind of expect you to pick up yourself?
No, you kind of pick it up yourself. They just tell you, you know, breaking news, you have to break in. If there's an accident or a fire, any sort of news like that, you do have to go ahead and immediately put something on Facebook, put something on Twitter. A lot of it, because it gives you credibility and makes your news is current and it's fresh and you're right there at the scene. The other thing when you're on Twitter, they want you to go ahead and take those long, lengthy links and put them through Bitly and get the shorter links, and then put a very captivating picture. So, you have to think in terms of promoting yourself, what looks the best, what will engage people, and that kind of thing. You can't just post any random story, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, let's talk about your brand, because you say you got to try to make it look good. Do you specifically think about your social media brand as a reporter for WIBW, what you look like on social media?
Yeah, absolutely. At least for me, I've had to learn to be myself. I love the military. I'm a military background. And I'm also a mother, and anything that really touches me on those two notes, which are two topics that are very important to me, anything that involves education and children, or anything that involves our vets, those are things that are important to me. So I just put those online, and that to me, as I look through my Facebook, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty serious stuff, but that's who I am. I can't go out there and be funny if I'm not thinking something, I thought I had to copy other reporters that are doing well. They have like upwards of 2,000 followers, and they're super popular, but I'm not that person. And so I remember when I went on Facebook for the first time, and I only had 100 likes, because that was like my Facebook family that all got transferred into my professional account. But now I have 230 something followers, and 130 of those are organic people that just like what I do. And I like that, I'm like, okay, I'm never going to be the super congenial person on Facebook. It's just not me. But there are people that like me just for what I have to offer.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of the folks who have the money for advertisers that the advertisers want to see, they're going to find you on Facebook. It's become that older demographic that actually have some money. And so that's become so important that way. What do you hate about the social media and the way it's being used as news?
Misinformation. Sometimes because we're trying so hard to get up there quickly at a scene, let's get it up on Twitter, let's get it up on Facebook, you're not really taking the time to make sure your facts are straight. And so I think that is the biggest problem we're having is just making sure that we're informing people properly. Slow down. Yes, we got to get it on these platforms, but slow down. Get your facts straight first, It's just too much of a rush lately, and I think we're misinforming sometimes.
Are you able to establish contacts and find stories as well on social media, especially Twitter, other things, being able to troll sites, following different handles, especially public officials, things like that?
Absolutely. Like, because I cover Manhattan, I have the city of Manhattan, I have the mayor, I have Riley County Police Department, the fire department. I troll through all of their posts because there are story ideas there. So yeah, absolutely. I would say you have to do that. Get involved and get involved into as many clubs and little niches that you can on social media, because you will get story ideas from there.
As the future of this thing kind of goes forward, do you see this going less or more?
Unfortunately, more.
I mean, yes. So advice to kids coming out of college, someone who is just getting into the business. You haven't been in the business a tremendously long amount of time, but what can they do to prepare now to be able to be ready once they hit that workforce?
Yeah, I mean, basically create yourself a little account where it's kind of like your pro account. And as you're doing all these great little stories for Channel 8 News, start tweeting them, start Facebooking them. You never know. Like I said, you just don't know who's watching, who will pick up one of your stories. And even if you think it's, a little story for school, it may be something significant for someone else. So just get yourself in that habit of constantly updating.
Kenia Mills, multimedia journalist for WIBW. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you.